Alright, so this isn't going to be a funny one. I'm coming off of a fatiguey time. Fatiguey sounds way more fun than it actually is. And I want to talk about the death penalty of all incredibly light subjects because the Boston bomber has just been sentenced to death in America in the year 2015. And I want to talk about the death penalty. There's some bullshit I've seen knocking around. Some people say that it's a deterrent. It's not a deterrent. There's no any statistical evidence that says it's a deterrent. And a lot of people who do this are in places like Kansas or Texas, and they're going, oh, it's actually a deterrent, while wearing a cross of Jesus around their neck. And you just think, you're not looking down. If you look down, you go, oh, hang on, this wasn't a deterrent. This is the most popular religion in the country. It's all based off of the death penalty. Really, it's like the key point of many religions converge sort of there. You know, that is the point. That is the death penalty is the worst deterrent because Christianity has come from it. The other one is it's cheaper. Oh, it's cheaper instead of having him around. Well, that's just kill everyone then. Just kill every single criminal if you argue it's cheaper. It's like, what did this guy do? Rob liquor store. Guilty. Next. Just blow their heads off there and then in the courtroom. Sure, I agree. It's actually not cheaper though. That's the thing. Some cases it is, some cases it's not. It depends how long the appeals process goes on for. Because if the appeals process goes on for upwards of a decade, and they do, that means you've just paid for a decade's worth of lawyers, and that is way more expensive than just locking someone in a cold, dark room for the rest of their life, however long that will be. So it actually does vary. Some cases, life sentence is actually cheaper than just killing them. Especially the high-profile cases tend to go on longer as well. So the higher the profile, the more likely that a life sentence is the better way to go. I'm so tired. I have an issue with the death penalty because it's not justice, it's revenge, and that's all it is. But there's a way to get... So, right, this guy, this bomber, killed 3 people and injured like over 250. He is a monster. And there's no getting away from being a monster if you've killed that many people and injured that people. That's a monster's work. So if you kill him now, when he's 21, and you kill him, after a few years of appeals, 5 years or so of appeals, what you've done is you've split his life into 3 parts. You have the first part, his childhood without extremism and, when he was young and innocent, and then you have his getting into extremism, bombing, and the third part will be turning everyone else into monsters, which was his goal, which was the goal of any terrorism, is to go, anger, spreading anger and revenge and hatred. That's what they do, that's their point, and going with it is helping them out, especially because most of them are like, I want to be a martyr, again with a cross. The other thing we can do is we can lock them away forever, for the rest of their life. And there's a lot of arguments for this which are wrong. People go, it's a worse punishment. Well, we're not going for worse punishments. The point of the justice system is to get someone who fucked up, teach them why they fucked up, and then release them when we're not going to fuck up again, because we've learned that. People like this who are monsters, we don't release them. But we can still get something out of it. This kid was 21. If you lock him up forever, and he dies around the age of 60, 70, something like that, life in prison is a little harder, a little lower, 60, 70, that means that his life will be split into 3 parts. He has the part where he was an innocent child, a very small section where he was an extremist, and then that bit again 4 or 5 times over. Huge amount of time over. He'd have if he died at 60, he'd have 2/3 of his life in a prison cell. And after that, you're not the same person. He wouldn't keep the hate and the anger and all that bullshit inside. If you gave this guy therapy and you sorted him out, he wouldn't have any of that in him. I mean, because think of who you were last year. The person you were last year or 2 years ago, they're pretty much as you are now. But you go back 5 years, and there's a difference there. If you go back 10, there's quite a big difference. If you go back 40, you are an incredibly different person. If you lock a guy away for 40, 50 years, by the end of that time, no matter how heinous and horrible these things were, with talking to the right people and sorting them out, at the end of it, you could have produced a guy who was sorry. Genuinely, actually sorry. And that is what the justice system can do. Because actually having someone and teaching them compassion, showing them compassion to teach them compassion, at the end of it having someone, and you there going, well, that's not a punishment. No, but then he'd have to carry the guilt of what he did, which is a punishment. He'd have to see it from our perspective. He'd see himself as a monster. That way, we turn a monster into a man. Killing him, we keep a monster as a monster and turn the rest of us into monsters, and it's bullshit.